This is a city mouse. He lives in a big city with tall buildings and lots of shops and restaurants. But today he is visiting his friend, a country mouse who lives far away in the countryside. All the smells here are so different from the city. It's nice, but it's not like pizza and pasta, the good stuff. It's where all the field mice come to play. He looked around for his friend. Where was she? Then he heard a familiar squeak. Squeak, squeak. Only the ones who live here know that song, she said. Then she noticed the city mouse's clothes. Are those new? You look very handsome in them. There she was scampering down a tree. She had an acorn in her mouth and a big smile on her face. Where do you live? By the way, it's small, but it's warm and cozy. Come see. She turned and dashed into the hole. The city mouse followed her. Well, tell me what you would like to do, and I will take you to the city for a real adventure. The city mouse scurried along the wall, his nose twitching. The city mouse put on his best clothes and took some cheese with him for his friend. When they reached the city, the country mouse gasped. Tall buildings scraped the sky. Cars zoomed past, nearly knocking them over. People bustled along the street, some of them even eating cheese. He took out a piece of cheese from his pocket. It's so big and loud. Tomorrow I get to tell all my friends about my amazing day in the big city, she said. They dashed into the nearest shop. It sold all sorts of things made of cheese, from cheese hats to cheese shoes. The country mouse's eyes popped open. Can we get some? Hello, squeaked the city mouse. I brought you this, but it's getting late. You should head back for showing our friend how the world outside our tree looks like, for opening her eyes to all the wonders that are out there. And all the mice cheered. The city mouse blushed. He had never thought of himself as brave or kind. Oh, how wonderful, squeaked the country mouse. But how did you find me? This is the bottom of Whisper Tree. Afterwards, they went to a restaurant and shared a giant pizza. Then they sat on a bench in the park and watched the sunset. I followed your scent, said the city mouse. All these trees smell the same. How do you know which tree is Whisper Tree? As he was putting on his shoes, he heard a knock on the door. He opened it and gasped. Standing in front of him were all the mice from Whisper Tree. The country mouse giggled. The city mouse puffed up his chest. Of course they are. I got them especially for this visit. He looked around again. Over there, said the country mouse, pointing her nose towards a hole in the tree. You're so lucky to live somewhere so peaceful. Inside the hole, it was just as the country mouse had said, small but cozy. All the trees around him were whispering. He couldn't understand what they were saying, but it sounded like they were laughing and clapping. The city mouse took a deep breath and started to run. He didn't want to be late for dinner. There was a soft bed made of leaves and twigs. A little candle made of beeswax was stuck in the wall. It flickered and cast dancing shadows on the walls. There were nuts and berries stored in every corner. And coming from the other room, they could hear the happy squeak of little mice playing. Oh, this is lovely, said the city mouse. It's nice, said the country mouse. Though sometimes I wish I lived somewhere exciting like you. You get to go to all the fun places and try all the yummy foods. Oh, really? The city mouse took a bite of his cheese. Oh, wow, that would be wonderful, squeaked the country mouse. The next day, the two friends set off on their adventure. Wow, squeaked the country mouse. The city mouse laughed. Come on, he said, taking her by the paw. I'll show you around. Of course, said the city mouse, and they spent the whole afternoon trying on different hats and shoes. Thank you, said the country mouse. This has been the best day ever. I'm glad you had fun, said the city mouse. At the bottom of Whisper Tree, the country mouse sighed happily. The city mouse waved goodbye. See you tomorrow, then, he squeaked. As he turned to leave, he saw something strange. The next day, the city mouse woke up and got ready for another day in the big city. "What are you doing here?" squeaked the city mouse. "We came to thank you," said one of the mice. "That's right," said another. "We are so lucky to have such a brave and kind friend." Then the country mouse came up to him and whispered, "Thank you for being my friend, City Mouse. I had the best day of my life."